Hello. It's been a really long time since I've posted on our ADCU YouTube channel, but I am here today with Bryan. Can you pronounce your last name for me so I don't say it wrong?
Oh, Vaca.
Vaca, okay.
Yeah.
With Bryan Vaca, founder of the Madness Studios and Uprising LA. So I'm doing an interview of sorts. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm currently a student at USC. I study business and film. Right now, I'm deeply involved in like the social media influencer space, kind of filmmaking space. That's kind of where all the projects I do come from. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here interviewing.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad we finally were able to like meet up and do something. So you have two projects from what I understand, the Madness Studios and Uprising LA. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to create these two and just more about them in general?
Yeah, so I don't know where to start actually, but I guess I just always wanted to do something for myself instead of doing something for someone else. Not that I wouldn't, but I thought it'd be really cool to just have my own thing, which I guess really pushed me into like entrepreneurship and everything like that. So I'm a creative, but also like logistical person, hence like the business and film. And I thought, okay, I really want to, besides creating my own projects, like give them a home or something of the sort. So I created the Madness Studios, which essentially is just a production company. And a studio, so it's like I have just all this like lighting equipment and just like studio stuff I keep in like my apartment. And yeah, what it essentially is like it's a space to just create. So that's what Madness Studios is. It's just like for other people to come together, work on projects, and just collaborate and create. Essentially with kind of a specialization in more of like the digital media space, if anything. And Uprising is like a project for the Madness Studios. So what Uprising is, it's actually really cool. It's a collective for the next generation of like content creators and digital media creators. So there's a lot of great people in that. I recruited from all over SoCal. So there's people from USC, UCLA, CSUN, from Riverside, and just like all over Southern California. And they're all content creators, all influencers. And the group was essentially created to house the most like diverse collective of creators. So what's happening right now is usually the criticism is that the most popular TikTokers, YouTubers, Instagrammers, really anybody are white. And they're the ones that are getting like the most attention and stuff. And so the other creators, like Black creators, POC creators, they're not getting as much attention. Which is leading to maybe less success, less visibility. So that's where the group comes in. I'm trying to create the most diverse like group one out there because there are many groups, but they're really not as diverse and only feature the most popular creators. So I thought, why not feature creators on the come up because there's really not something like that. And it's been great. Like so far, we have like to kind of name a few notable people or types of people. We have someone that was on Disney Channel. We have someone that was on Teens React. We have someone else that they're like a big like Lifetime or like lifestyle like TikToker, other like a filmmaker who became like I guess TikTok famous for his short films. There's just really great people. Those are only just some of them. And yeah, it's been a really great experience so far.
Yeah, we're actually doing very similar things, and I realized, the frame. I realized I forgot to introduce myself as well. If you're watching this and you've never heard, my name is Kiara. I am also a USC student, and I am the founder of Artistas de Unidos, which is essentially this online arts gallery for artists of color. We specifically evolve ourselves in emerging artists of color, but artists who have been in the game for a while are welcome to submit as always. And we have a range of projects from like visual arts to literary arts, and we accept multimedia pieces as well, musicians, filmmakers, etc. So that's what ADCU is. My next question is, how do you balance, are you a full-time student? You are, right? Yeah. How do you balance being a full-time student and like being an entrepreneur and all these things?
It's hard. But I think it just came down to like a matter of priorities. So I do what I need to do for school. I'm like gonna be totally honest, and like school is not the most utmost priority. I mean, it's like don't drop out of school. But like if you're watching this, but it's like when it comes to grades and things like that, I always like try my best. I'm not saying to slack off, but like if it comes between like studying the most for a test and or networking, making contacts, like I think I'm gonna choose networking and stuff like that, just because like that's gonna last longer than just taking a test, getting a grade. Like it's not gonna matter as much as like a potential contact or potential event you could like go to. So sometimes it's just a balance of priorities. Sometimes like I just focus on school. Sometimes I just focus more on entrepreneurship stuff. And yeah, it is hard balancing it because like it just seems like sometimes they actually clash a lot, and like more often than not, and I hate that you only have 24 hours in the day because I wish I could have so much more. I'd be doing so much more if I had like 50 hours in the day, but
It'd be a long day.
yeah, it'd be a long day. It already feels like a long day, but yeah, that's kind of just how I try to balance it. I think it just comes down to priorities, and what you really want to do, and if you're focused and if you just know what direction, or at least some idea of what direction you want to do, like take.
No, that's very true, especially with the grades thing, because they will not ask you at a job application, what's your GPA?
No, they
Like,
won't.
I mean, I need to keep my grades up because I'm going to grad school, but
Yeah,
the GPA matters for that, but for jobs, they're not going to be like, tell me if you got an A in marketing class. They'll just ask, I mean, they might ask for relevant coursework, but it's not the same thing as like your grades. It's more like what you know and your experience, at least in my experience.
No, definitely.
Yeah. And then, okay, random question, but what inspires you?
What inspires me?
We're getting deep here.
Wow. I guess like creativity. I know that's such a general answer, but like just what people are able to do by themselves or with other people and like collaborate. I feel like that really inspires me to kind of be better, be more, and just put myself out there. I think I guess like people that inspire me. I could probably like name a lot of people, but I'll just I guess throw some like names out there. Some like famous people that inspire me are like Walt Disney. I guess for what he did, like creating like essentially not just another company, but really kind of like a brand and like a brand that people could connect to instead of like buy into. And that's like affected their childhoods and nostalgia and everything like that. Yeah. Another guy would be Tim Burton. I just love his style. I think like he's essentially created his own brand and style by just his name. So when you just say his name, everybody knows what you're talking about. Even if you watch his films or not, I feel like everybody, like an image. And then another person, a little controversial, but it's Kanye. I'm actually a big Kanye fan. So I mean, he's just inspired me to just like be innovative. I think just like never be stuck on like artistic flair. Like always keep changing, but stay true to yourself. But like keep moving forward, keep changing a little bit, be innovative, and like expand. Like be like a multicultural type of person or like a multi-hyphenate. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I don't know if you can answer this question because secret projects. But anything special that you can tell me about that you've been working on lately, or if you just have anything you're like super excited about, or even a past project if you can't answer anything coming up soon.
There are some stuff I can't mention, but they're really exciting. Let's see. I guess like one thing is like where Uprising I think is going to. We've added a lot more people these past few weeks in terms more people from UCLA, more people from USC, more content creators, and yeah, it's been really exciting just to kind of add like really new faces and people with like all sorts of talent. So like people that are just like YouTubers, but like more like everyone's a college student, of course. So just more authentic content creators instead of like people that are just not as authentic. Yeah, so other than that, I'm working now with an influencer who graduated from USC. His name's like Alan Chow. Yeah, so I'm actually his producer, so I do help out with his videos and like producing those and casting and things like that, even creative. So I mean that's an exciting thing I started. So I basically run his like YouTube channel, which is actually the 11th most watched YouTube channel in the U.S. I just found that out like the other day. I was blown away. But yeah, there's an Uprising event like coming up in November. All I will say is that, to not give too many details because I'm still like working with some people on it, there will be a red carpet involved. So
nice.
Yeah. Uprising is going to new heights. So yeah.
That's great. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
You and I are both fairly young entrepreneurs of color. Do you have any advice for anyone either like looking to start their own business or just starting out? I mean, I know both of us are still like just starting out, but from so far from what you've like learned.
It's so simple. It's basically like the Nike thing. Just do it. Like even if you fail, like it doesn't matter that you failed because if you started, you're like miles ahead of like a lot of people who never start.
That's very true.
Yeah, and like a lot of people get ideas, but very few people actually turn those ideas into things, like into businesses or into like products or videos, which are like big now. Like you just have to start. It doesn't matter if you start successfully, and since it's an ongoing process, I think you grow. So the biggest thing is to just start instead of like talking about it. I feel like just a lot of people just talk instead of do. And it affects like everything, like all like content creators, filmmakers, like everybody has an idea and they talk about it, but they never actually do it, and then they do another thing so that's my biggest advice. I would also probably say like make a plan about what your priorities are. Like you don't always have to stick to it. You can deviate, but like so you don't get caught up in the mess and then the noise. Follow like basically your plan, or at least your priorities or what you want to stick to, your values or beliefs, so that you always have something to come back to. Because if you don't have like that anchor, I guess, you can kind of be all over the place. I've definitely, it's helped me just to know where I want to go, at least an idea of it, because like who knows what they want to do for the rest of their lives. I feel like nobody sticks to one thing. Yeah, I honestly feel nobody sticks to it like anymore like that. Like people do so many great things in life. So, but yeah, that's kind of my advice. So like, if you're an entrepreneur, just keep doing, start, keep your priorities in line, and yeah, have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I'm gonna answer this question too, but I would say it's so cheesy, but follow your dreams. I don't know, my mom always told me that, like, follow your dreams and the money will follow, because for her it wasn't a big deal. She was like, you shouldn't be focused. And I've always thought that, like, I want to be stuck in some 9-to-5 job that I hate. Why would I?
Yeah.
That's like a third of your life. Like, that's a lot of time you spend at work. So I definitely think it's like, follow your dreams. And I mean, like he said, I know there's a lot of people who like 30 years later into like being a doctor or something, they're like, actually I hate this and I'm gonna do this, and it does work out. Like, I think we do need to stay away from the notion of like, this has to be the thing you do for the rest of your life. Like, people change, your ideas change, the things you like change. I mean, I went into college, I'm a senior now. Being a freshman, like, I'm gonna be a psychologist. I'm about to go to grad school to be a teacher. So if you see the change within like 4 years, yeah, those are actually all the questions I have for you. Do you have any questions for me or anything you just want to share?
Yeah, I mean, like, tell me more about like your business thing. Like, I know you just recently turned into an LLC. That was cool. I'm
so really excited. I'm still working on the bank account version of that, but
oh, right.
Yeah, I just I have so much to do.
Yeah.
I'm a double major, so it's a lot. But yeah, so ADCU, and like I said, it's like an online arts gallery for artists of color. I initially started as young artists of color, and then I felt like that was very like ageist, and I was like, maybe we should stick to emerging artists of color, because there are so many people. Like I said, there are people who start their careers 30 years later, and some person could have been publishing poems for like a year, and they're like, oh, this is cool. And for people of color, I initially started it with the intent, because I wrote this project for a final for one of my classes freshman year, and it was like a multimedia piece, And my professor was like, oh, Kiara, you should submit this. And I tried to, but it was really hard to find websites that like accepted multimedia pieces. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna just do it myself. Like, I'll just create my own website. And through that process, I was like, well, I feel like there's a lot of topics that, like, as people of color and as artists of color, you don't feel as comfortable talking about with white artists just because they don't have that same, like, experience. So it's a little bit different if you were talking about it with, like, a person of color, because they can, like, they know what you're talking about, and sometimes I feel like it's easier to, like, explain it to them. So I was like, oh, I'll make it a space for artists of color, because there are so many great art spaces, but they're typically white dominated, and I wanted to highlight like artists of color and how we should, like, I know for me, I read a lot about like the experience of being mixed. I'm half Black and half Vietnamese, so that's like a big thing, but it's something that like only people like only like people of color would understand, I guess, or also mixed people.
No, yeah, I totally understand your part where you say like the divide between like colors and artists. Like I feel like especially I've seen that when it comes to like, so I deal a lot with TikTok. And there's like the trends, like anybody can use the trends, and so like sometimes what happens is that, you know, maybe a white TikToker might do it, and then a colored TikToker might do it, and they might even do it in another language. And sometimes it just, even though it's the same trend, people get like, oh, it's the same trend. Sometimes people get turned off as soon as the language switches from English, and it's like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but they're just like, I don't know, audiences are like, I want to hear it in English, or like apparently like, I don't know, they just, there's a clear divide, like about things. So I'm really inspired by what you're doing. I think there really needs to be more of this. I mean, I'm excited to see how you grow and everything.
I'm excited too. We're actually in our second year, are we? Can't do math. I'm really bad at math. Yeah, we're in our second year. July 31st, 2021 was our second year anniversary, which I completely forgot about because I was teaching. But yeah, also like you said, like I know on TikTok there was that whole thing with like most of the dances that were popularized by like white creators, and like no hate against them, it's just that I think it is because they're white, like they got popularized by like Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae, but then all the like the people who created the dances were like left in the dark, I guess. I don't know if that's the right phrase.
Yeah, they
but
were just
like they didn't get as much attention, or like they weren't in the spotlight as much.
No, honestly, and it's been a big thing. I think I just saw an article like a couple weeks ago where it's like Black creators who started these dances are actually leaving TikTok because they're just not being credited. They're just not seeing the success of like what they're creating, and people are stealing their dances, and those people are becoming famous, and they're essentially just leaving, and it's like there's a clear just divide in terms of like, there's a clear divide, I feel like, in any creative industry, but especially in this one about visibility and things like that.
I mean, I think it's getting better, like, but it's getting better, but it definitely does need to change. Like even, you know, with these, recently, like if you guys have seen Shang-Chi, I'm not gonna like say anything about what it's about, but basically someone was saying like, you know, all these people who are enjoying the movie Shang-Chi, but they like, you know, were against the Stop Asian Hate movement, and you know, because we're in the pandemic right now, we're still in the pandemic, and there's been so much like racism towards Asian people, not just Chinese people, but like Asian people, because in certain people's eyes we all look the same, but we don't. I could go on about that for like hours, but yeah, and how like they're enjoying this movie, but it's like, okay, well, where was your support back then? And then there's also the thing with like East Asian actors specifically only getting like the love. Like I can only name like one South Asian actor that I know is like popular.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a whole thing. It's so many things. There's so many things that like need to change. But that's why I like started ADCU, because I wanted people have like, they talk about these experiences. We're actually just expanded our team. We are hiring, so I'm just gonna plug it right now that I'm still looking for a social media and marketing assistant. You can find out more down below. I'll put it like in the little link. And if you're watching this on Instagram, it's already at the link in our bio. Yeah.
No, definitely. especially with like social media and like what you're doing, I feel like that's definitely gonna help bring an impact and like reach. I think like social media is just such a powerful tool, and I was like so surprised how powerful it is. But I think it can really bring about change.
Yeah, we're trying to expand internationally at the moment.
Yeah.
I just hired an artist outreach coordinator, and they said that they wanted to reach, because we are more like U.S. focused at the moment. But that's just how it happened.
Yeah.
I just happened to follow a lot of people who were in the U.S. But now that, you know, we're looking for more like international people, because I don't want it to just be in the U.S. And also, like, the nice thing about it being online, I would like to open a physical space one day. But the nice thing about it being online is that the reach goes so far, like, you don't have to like come physically to install your art somewhere.
Right.
You can just put it online.
Yeah, no, I love that. I feel like a lot of people have been doing that, but not
especially during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very like nice outlet to like for people to connect to. It's what we need essentially today. Yeah.
Very true. Any other topics you want? Sorry, I did not have. No one asked us questions, so ask us. Oh, I don't know. I said it's not like the yeah, no one asked us questions on Instagram, so I have my 5 little questions that I've already asked.
Yeah, I mean, like, where would you like to be in 5 years with this gallery?
Interesting question, because I'm a type A person who plans my whole life. I like with ADCU or just like in general.
No.
I definitely. Well, I don't know about physical space in 5 years. Maybe. I have the other side of my plan where I'm going to grad school to be a teacher, so that's gonna take up a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But I would like to start a. You know, I have a physical space. In the physical space, we have like events. You know, and poetry, like spoken words and things like that. That's something I really want to do, and just have it be like a space for people to come. Maybe I'd set it up like a lounge. I don't know. I actually started drafting what it would look like the other day in class because I got bored. Pay attention in class. Don't be like me. But yeah, I think that's where I'd like to be. I've been talking about like opening up a comic version because my boyfriend's like super into like comic books, and so we've been talking about maybe like it'd be like a subdivision and doing that, and then we'd be highlighting like, you know, comic authors of color. I don't know what their official title is because are authors and artists, I guess, because sometimes it's like 2 people. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
So that's like more him, but that's like something that we are considering, but it's no like we haven't actually like put it into action. First things first, like let's grow ADCU. Yeah, like I said, I want to expand to more international artists. I would just like it to be as big as like, you know, other artists. I mean, art websites, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there some out there that you would like to model or they take
I should do
from?
research on that. I have not done my research on that.
Yeah.
A girl has been busy.
I feel that.
Yeah, graduation things, senior things.
Oh man, tell me about it.
Yeah. How about you? Where would you like to be in 5 years?
Oh jeez. I'm very not a type A person. I just take life as it goes, but I feel like, so right now I'm working a lot with creators, more on the business side end, and kind of creative behind the scenes end. I think I would like to, what I'm starting to do, experiment with, is create my own like platform. So seeing how that goes right now, I think in 5 years, like I would hope to reamp like madness. I think to like be more inclusive. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I want to just create my own platform, revitalize madness. It is like I'm also busy, so sometimes it's just like I have to take a little bit of a break, and hopefully grow Uprising to be like I hope like the group for diverse creators, or like creators that are having momentum, but they can't join these other groups because they're not the most popular, or they don't seem to be the most accepting of diverse like creators, and just have Uprising become like essentially big or popular because of that. So to be, I don't know, that the group is big, but also subsequently the members that are a part of it are big. So so
that's why I hired a social media. That's why I'm hiring a social media person, because I don't have time. I just was like, I need help.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to just be on the back burner. Because it's something that I plan on like not stopping for me. I was like, I can always grow it later. Like I'm really focused. Like just because for me, like my other goal is like my dream passion career is like teaching, and this is ADCU is more like, I mean, it is like my baby, but like I also, it's a passion project for me, and it's also like my teaching career. I need money. We live in LA. It's expensive to live here. It is so expensive.
Yeah.
So like I need money to work. But yeah, I definitely want to expand, like, and you're talking about like being like the collective, and I was just thinking about how I need to, I was thinking, sorry, that sounds so rude, but I was also thinking about how like I need to reach out to people, but that's why I hired an artist outreach coordinator. Their new job is find people.
Yeah.
That's the literal definition of their job. But I am super excited about them joining us. You can see their bio on our website. So yeah, I'm trying to grow the team as well. I feel like eventually I would like to get to nonprofit status. We're an LLC right now because I wanted to be able to apply for money, for like funding and stuff. We also do have a GoFundMe up at the moment for anyone who like really supports our mission. But I wanted to be able to like get money so that I can, expand basically. But I don't want to do that by having to pay back the money through loans. So like business grants and stuff. So we're an LLC right now, but we're technically a not-for-profit LLC, if that makes sense. But we're not like 501c3 status nonprofit yet. I'm working on that, but that is going to take me a long time because it takes a lot to do that. And you need like a big team, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, in time, like.
Yeah, no, I'm like eventually, like graduate first, and then I'm taking a gap year. Excuse me. Yeah, I am planning on taking a gap year after I graduate, so I do want to like, then I'll have time to focus on like ADCU and other stuff, life.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, my grad school plans are non-existent at the moment.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like necessary for you though, is it? Like.
Really, no.
Yeah.
If anything, it would just be like maybe might go to film school, but like that's just a big maybe. I guess for me, it's like I don't really need grad school.
Yeah. So I feel like that's pretty like you're gonna go. I don't know if y'all know this, but USC's film school is like really good. I think George Lucas went here, right? Or did he just donate money to us?
No, he went here.
George Lucas went here.
A lot of like people like went here.
A lot of people have gone here. Neil Armstrong too, apparently.
He's gone.
Has gone to USC. Yeah. So many creators like have come out of USC. So if you're in high school, you should apply.
Yeah, definitely.
But also make sure you apply to scholarships, because not gonna lie, it does cost a lot of money to go here.
Yeah.
It is a private school, but they do offer a lot of scholarship opportunity. So I feel like that's like where you hit the spot. Rely more on scholarships, not loans. I don't know why I turned this into a college advice, but I'm, stuff I wish I had known. Go to community college first, then go to a 4-year.
Oh yeah, smart.
That's
what I did.
That's not what I did.
Oh.
I did transfer though. Were you transfer? You went to transfer, right? Is that how we met? Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had gone to community college first, because it's cheaper. Get all your GEs and stuff out of the way, and then all your core classes, and then you go, and then you can like. Well, I don't know how it works, like freedom or something, because we only transferred when we were sophomores, so it's a little different depending on the college you go to. At USC, you can transfer as a sophomore, but for UCs, and if you're not from California, like like University of California, you have to transfer as a junior.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah. It'd be like that, but we are here now, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, those are all the questions I want to ask. I was curious what you were doing. Sounds really amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, even though it's been on the back burner, I am like trying a little bit to like on my breaks and stuff. I try, to do something, because I just don't want it to like not exist, and then I don't want us to like disappear, because I have a bad habit of in the past starting projects and then never like, you know, following through. It's a very bad habit. But with this, I'm very passionate about it, and I definitely don't want it to like end. So I have, like you said, I have so many ideas. The problem isn't necessarily putting them out. It's the time that I have right now. But like I have my whole life, so you know, like I'm only 21. There's so much I can do, and like I said, like expanding the team, because I think that would definitely help in like expanding our reach and stuff. But yeah, baby steps first. You can't like I wish I could have like 1 million followers in like 1 year, but it doesn't always work like that. Like, but it also doesn't mean like be discouraged either, because everyone's, I don't know, I forget what the stats are, but there are always like stats about those people who like got super famous super late into their career. I know there's something about Michael Jordan, I just don't know the exact number, so I don't want to like be quoting stuff like randomly and not like having my facts correct. But I know there's something about like how long it took him to become like the basketball star that we know him as now. So don't give up on your dreams, basically. Very cheesy, but I mean, it's very solid advice.
It's needed advice.
For sure. Yeah. So thank you so much for meeting me. Sorry, this was like super short.
No worries.
But I'm really excited that we finally got to like meet up in person and do something. Would definitely love to like collab in the future as well. Yeah.
No, definitely. Thanks for having me. No, really appreciate it.
Thanks. Alright, it's my traditional YouTube outro that I'm not used to doing, because I last time posted a YouTube video was 2 years ago. Just COVID things. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You can find out more about both of our projects if you're watching this on YouTube, like below. And then if it's on Instagram, I'll put it in the caption and the comments. And then ADCU stuff is like always in the link on our bio on our Instagram, which I'll put like right here somewhere. I'm kind of off screen, so like here, I guess. Yeah, so you can find out more. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know it's cheesy, but please do it. If you want to help us expand, it's you that holds the power.